play, you always, when they say come back in 5 minutes, thank you, 5, that's what you yell out. Thank you, 5.
Thank you, 5.
So you gave us 52 seconds. Thank you,
trying to make
52.
sure I'm not in the video.
Listen, that's the whole point why I moved back here, so you can get in the video.
I don't want to be in the video.
Me either, but I'm forced.
The mic is going to be turned on here most of the time.
Yeah.
And then the less talking you do, the less time you can be on camera.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we got 20, 19. I don't even have to turn on y'all mics. It don't even matter. Except let me know when you ready to do this number to me. I turn it on when you get ready to talk.
If somebody's on Facebook, please share.
Get the video live.
And we are live.
Hello and good evening. You are listening to WRUU LP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. You guys are tuned in here. It's Friday o'clock. It's 8 o'clock.
Friday o'clock.
It's Friday night at 8 o'clock, right? You guys are tuned in to Let's See Who My Friends Are. I'm your host here, Ray Carr, the Fit Hypnotist, you know, the one and only. If you hear another Fit Hypnotist in Savannah, they lying.
They lying.
I'm here tonight with my co-host. You know who he is.
I am your ear candy, your social voice radio, GQ Smooth.
Yes, GQ Smooth. We got the ear candy in the house on time tonight, y'all.
Are we starting? So you want to get on air?
Y'all started
So you want to
before.
get on air? Oh, okay.
Also, at the station here tonight, we have, you know who it is, that familiar voice here with us, Miss Ayana Daly.
You gonna turn my mic on?
Your mic is on. Everyone's mic is. See, now it's off because you want to act up.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Miss Ayana Daly is here with us. Also tonight, sitting there, my daughter, you might hear her chime in. Miss Kristen Carr is here as well. Hi there. Awesome. And also, our guest here at the station tonight is Mr. Bill Cooper. Mr. Bill is also another host here at WRUU, so thank you so very much for coming out and hanging out with us this evening.
Thank you. When you put the notice up, I said, this sounds I like the title of it, you know, See Who My Friends Are. I think that was cool. So,
Yay.
Right.
Thank
Glad
you.
to be here.
Thank you. For those who don't know what the show is about, it's really just about getting a guest on here. I always say I really don't have a reason to be on the radio. My reason is really just here to bring people on here and put them out to the world. You know, I meet some amazing people, and I always think that we are who we are based on our experiences, and what a better way for people to get to know us or for us to get to know folks if we just come out and share of ourselves. So
Great premise. I really like it. When I saw the title, I said, this is going to be cool.
Yay!
I like it.
Awesomeness. So we always start the show off. I just say, you know, how was your week? What you got planned for the weekend? You know, how you plan it to be?
Oh, you start with me? Okay.
Yeah, let's
tomorrow,
guest.
in fact, speaking, Adam Messer, who has the show right before me on Sundays, and he's a local author. He's written poems in that, and he has a authors at a coffee shop out in Pooler, and he has another group of authors out there, and he's really and it's fun. I went last week, and I'm going again this week.
Yeah.
So I got that on the calendar, and then Sunday night's my show, and that's it. You know, an hour and a half show. I mean, that means, what, 60, 70 hours a week prep.
Yeah.
What's the title of your show?
Savannah at Night.
Yeah, good stuff.
And I'm on it with Louis Clausey, who has that old Savannah Magic show on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock from 4 to 6, and Chad Carvel, who does my show with me, and those two, they not only run the board and take the pressure off me so I can interview guests, but they throw in at the right time the right comments. They're funny, and it's really a good show.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We'll get to know a little bit more about your show, but we'll just go around the room briefly and ask folks, how was your week? What you got planned for the weekend?
Yeah, that's you.
Well, I had a pretty good week. This weekend I planned on sleeping.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I wake up every day at 6 a.m. for school, and don't go to bed until around 9 or 10, and sometimes I stay up till 11. So this weekend, as every weekend, I just plan on going to sleep.
The life of a teenager, right?
Yes.
Ayana.
Oh gosh. Okay, so my weekend is the week. I have a story. Was really funny. I fell down the steps. It's hilarious.
Looks like it.
Yeah, I slipped and fell, and I had a bag and a pair of shoes in my hand, and the shoe hit me in the eye. So I kicked myself with my own shoe, but I still got up and kept it moving. So it is what it is. I thought it was hilarious. I did. I thought it was hilarious. This weekend,
Any video of that? Any
I
instant
wish
replay?
I would have laughed at myself if I saw that.
Then you could sue the shoe.
Right.
One call, that's all.
Right. The one call is all. Right.
If you had video.
I know.
Now it's only your word against the shoe.
Shoe violence.
What about your weekend?
Oh, weekend. I never make plans. It's just spontaneous, fun. Hopefully. Other than that, sleep is definitely on the agenda.
All right, and you're done. All right. My week was great. Weekend will be greater. When I get to see my family, it's going to be the greatest. So that's what my weekend is going to be like. It was a week making it through. When I get the next Friday at 1 o'clock, it's going to be Thanksgiving break. So that's my motivation. Next Friday at 1 o'clock.
Ooh, that's the day I'm looking forward to.
Hey, thank you. Got a witness. And weekend is going to be good. Going to go home, see my family, celebrate my brother's daddy's birthday. So we finna have a good time.
Good stuff. My week filled with work, back and forth. You guys know I do the grind, driving back and forth, every day. But productive, profitable, and
big word. Say it again. SAT word.
Productive and profitable.
All right.
So it was a good week all around. The weekend I get to spend it with my daughters and hang out. So I'm looking forward to a good weekend.
So your weekend is already planned.
Yes, and I work tomorrow as well.
Because you said profitable. I was trying to see what I can. Yeah, never mind. Your daughter ain't gonna act up.
Yeah, please don't act up with my child here.
He's gonna wave like, hey.
But tonight we also do here, Bill. We do OPT, other people's topics. So I just snatch a topic throughout the week and we discuss it here. And the topic for today is, time travel. We go all over the place with the topic. Time travel is something that I find fascinating, and in the work that I do, I get to help people kind of relive their past a little bit, and I see the benefit in that. So one of the things I asked today was, if you could time travel, when would you visit? Would you visit the past or would you visit the future? You could either start or you could just point to somebody and they can answer first.
I don't mind. First of all, I'm older than anyone in this room. If you add 3 years together, I'm still older. I'm 75, so I've seen a few things.
I never thought that.
And anyway, so I know the past. I helped them write the Bible.
I got some questions.
The wheel, I'm saying, no, it should be round. It should be round. They were trying to make like a triangular wheel as that. Send me back anywhere. Just send me back.
That's one way to look at it. I know the past, so let me go see something I know. What about you, Ayana? What do you think?
I chose the future because, like I said, the past is something that you've already lived. You really, if you change it, you won't be where you are now. You'll be in a whole different place. So I'm comfortable with me where I'm at, even though it's not perfect. I want to know what my future is like to see if I can change it or not. You know what I mean? If I go to the future, it's like a new adventure versus, and if I don't like it, first of all, the question: am I staying in this time travel, or do I have to come back?
Visiting.
Just visiting. Oh yeah, I would like to go definitely to the future just to see If I don't like it, I'm making some moves now where I can control and change.
But the future covers a whole lot of time. It could be
It
4
does.
million years. So I mean, you got to pick somewhere in the future that you're going to be
Right.
happy.
Specifically in the future,
Sure.
I don't know necessarily. I probably want to go maybe about 10 years, and I don't want to meet myself. I just want to see myself.
Well, at my age, I'm so happy to see tomorrow. So I'm
That's
my
That is
future.
time travel, right?
Is that like the future? Like every second forward is the future.
Is
So
the
I'm like,
future, right?
My wife said, "You get up again."
wow.
I think I think I would want to visit the past. Yeah, and not because I know the past, but because I know the past affects my present, right? So if I have to come back to my present, I want to go to my past. If I could change things in my past that'll affect my present, then that'll be good.
Excuse me. You mean past before you were born or during your lifetime now? How far past?
Past. I was really thinking past in my lifetime.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, before that, I don't really care.
Understood.
Right.
Understood.
And during this time travel, because you talking about changing, so I was like, when you travel in time, you don't change it, do you?
I'm
I
just
guess you're
saying
trying.
it's
No, I'm just
perfect.
asking. I'm just asking. Do you? Because I mean, I just thought it was just like sight of the past or the future versus changing.
I
or
mean,
doing-
I know me. If I go to the past, I'll mess
So
with
then-
some stuff.
There are two of you, because you were already in the past. I mean, anyway, I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say.
We're not going to talk about why time travel doesn't work. We
It's her show. It works.
We're not discussing the
And-
physics of the past.
It's Ray's show. It works because
You want to ask?
Ray
Go ahead,
said
then
so.
First of all, the physics is my area of expertise.
Oh, here we
But,
go.
if I was to, if I had a time travel machine, I would definitely go in the past. I would specifically go to the Harlem Renaissance. I'm in the U.S. history. I'm in a U.S. history class, so that's all I really know right now. So yeah, I would go back to the Harlem Renaissance and meet the greats like Langston Hughes, Louis Armstrong. I would also go a little bit further into the future from the past, I guess, and meet the other greats like Malcolm X and Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, just to have an understanding of Black history and just history in general from the point of view of people who I know look like me.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah.
You better preach. We're gonna pass around the collection.
That's gonna change.
Very
That's
good.
gonna
Very
change
well
your mindset
stated.
of
Very
right
well
now,
stated.
right?
Thank you.
That's gonna change your mindset now with
When
that
is
type
that?
of experience that you had in the past. Go ahead. First of all, see if
What
you-
about
Thank
you?
you.
What
Thank
about
you.
you?
Thank you.
Ear
But,
Put 'em
candy.
together.
Where would you let your ear candy flow in the future or in the past?
The crazy thing is, I was thinking about this topic earlier this week. So when this happened to be the other people's topic, I was like, interesting question. But I would definitely go to the past. I live in the present, so I already know that I'm impacting the world right now. So I already know the future is going to be great because I was here. I just need to know what the world was like before I was here. It's like, what kind of misery were they in? Because I wasn't here in this capacity. So I would definitely go to the past and specifically, and again, I have crazy thoughts. So like one of my times, it would be, I want to go to the first KKK meeting.
Oh,
I was like, I just want to see what that was like. Like, what was in your mind for this to even, I was like, what was going on? Like, I just want to say to them, like, interesting. You thought this was appropriate? Okay. Well, okay. And then I want to go, also, I never met my grandmother on my father's side. She passed away way before I was born. So I definitely want to go see what she was like, even in a little bit of time that she was here on this earth, the 40-some years she was here. I want to go see her. Like, I want to see her live and in action because the impact that she left on her kids, I already know she was a great lady. I just want to experience the
Very
greatness
nice.
in the
Yeah,
lady.
very
Yeah.
nice.
So I just want to go see her. Like, or I also want to see my bro Malcolm X though. But,
Yes,
but-
Malcolm X is the man.
I was like, yeah. I'm pointing to it like, yeah. I don't even want to do nothing else in people in the past and say, yeah, and then go away.
Awesomeness. So various, well, most of us said we wanted to go to the past. We had a couple of people say that they wanted to go to the future. I don't know I guess I would want to see what the next generation does with this earth, with this country, just to like sneak in, peek, and run back home.
Right.
That would be, I guess, what I would want to go look into towards the future too. But is there anything that any of you would want to see in the future? Any particular place?
If I were to go to the future, I think I would want to experience the future just to understand what my children do. Because the reason I didn't choose the future is because the future is yet to be experienced, at least for me.
Yeah.
I'm at a young age where I don't particularly have much of a past, so I want to understand the past. The future is yet to be experienced, and I'm gonna wait for that. But I guess I would, if I were to go to the future, I would just want to see what my kids get up to and how my generation, Gen Z, positively and negatively impacts this earth. Because that's ultimately our goal, to make everywhere more home for everyone.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, you're concerned about your generation, but how much do you let them influence you? You speak very well, and and you should be proud of yourself. But I'm thinking this is more from your bringing up than from your generation that you got to this point.
I think through my generation, I try not to let my generation affect me, quote unquote.
Well, they will, but they don't have to own you.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I try
And I think you know that, yeah.
I try and get knowledge from everyone because at the end of the day, everyone has different experiences.
Very good.
Like how my mom started this radio show, and I just want to have a general understanding of what everyone goes through and let that impact me rather than just one group of people who I know will agree with me.
Yeah, nice.
You're feeling proud and stuff.
There you go, Mom.
That's my baby.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much. Were you gonna say something?
I mean, the only thing I want to see in the future, I guess, is the lineage that I make in the world. I was like, how do I put this? But my lineage, that's all I want to see. I don't care about the earth and the environment, what's going to happen. It's just the world is so big.
You want to see what those 13 kids you put
Right.
populate
Yeah, exactly. I want to see what my
with. You wanna
lineage is
see-
going to do. Like, make sure my legacy is continued and make sure that,
13 children, though.
if not more. So she said 13, but hey,
That's
I'm always inspired for 20, to be honest.
Another topic for another time. But you guys know tonight we have here at the station, he's familiar, in fact that's the seat that he sits in when
Exactly.
he's here. He's familiar with WRUU and he's familiar with, what this radio station kind of represents. In the way of kind of giving us regular folks a platform to come on here and to talk. So he does a show here called
Savannah at Night.
Savannah at Night. And tell us when your show comes on.
It comes on Sunday nights, and it runs from 5 o'clock till 6:30.
Yes.
And usually, I'd say 5 weeks out of 6, 4 weeks out of 5, we have a guest, and we have different guests. A few have made returns here
Yeah.
because I asked them to, and every one of them has been interesting.
Yeah.
And everyone has connected some way with the arts in Savannah. I've had actors, I've had SCAD professors, I've had comedians, I've had poets, artists, and it's to get to know them. And as I say, my main goal for starting this show was to get people in Savannah and I know some, they never go out. They just sit there, and they veg on the couch. And I'm saying, and I tell them, there's some, we went to 2 plays last week.
Yeah.
We went to 2. We went to Macbeth and we went to the Addams Family. And I'm saying,
Oh, cool.
and in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, none of them ever go anywhere. And I thought it was sad. Don't let your life go by without taking up what's readily available. For a city this size, this is a small city. For a city this size, it has more opportunities to be entertained in a good way. You were just talking about the comedy in the town too.
Yes,
and there's
absolutely.
great comedy scenes in the town. They have the poetry, twice a month at the Bean that Melanie Goldie runs. It's just an incredible opportunity, and if it's not here, you can go to Pooley, you can go to Richmond Hill, you can go to Tybee and catch this stuff.
Yeah.
There's always something going on, and I'm saying, and I got into it for that it wasn't my idea that I came up with this, but I thought one day, I don't want to taking my last breath saying, oh man, I should have tried that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got to act. I started acting when I was 60 years old.
Oh, wow.
I said I always wanted to do it. I had an opportunity. Someone asked me, and I did it, and I love it. I mean, I've been on stage. I've been in about 50 SCAD films, at least 20 plays in Savannah,
Yeah.
3 full-time movies as an extra, but I love it.
Yeah.
And then it morphed into comedy.
Okay, so the acting started before the comedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the comedy always was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was a kid, I could make people laugh.
Yeah.
And it's a gift. And it really is a gift. And I said, and I never even thought of doing stand-up comedy, but I always wanted to act. When I was a kid watching TV with my father, we'd be watching some disgusting old black and white movie that had the bad acting, bad plot, everything, and we would be putting the lines in that they should have been saying,
Yeah.
you know. And then at
That's
the end of it, my father would say something like this: $13.04. I say, what's that, Dad? He says, that's got to be the entire budget for the movie, including feeding the horses. That's how bad this movie was.
That is horrible.
So I always thought I'd like to do it, and then when I had the opportunity, after my kids grew up and my wife and I got married, and we settled down here, and we did a lot of traveling when we first got married, the whole country, several times.
Yeah.
And I says, anyway, I want to do something I haven't done, and that was the thought in my head, that I don't want to regret that I didn't try these things. And believe me, I love it. I love every minute of it.
Yeah.
And that's my
So
story in a nutshell.
how long have you been here in Savannah, and what brought you to Savannah itself?
Okay.
Because we hear an accent, and we know it's
As
not.
I was saying earlier, this is a northern Savannah accent.
Northern Savannah, I like it.
No, okay, I know I'm outnumbered, but I'll tell you where I'm from. Go Patriots!
I'm a Patriots fan. Even though I'm not
Oh,
from there,
yes.
but there we go.
How could you not be? I mean,
I'm not a pro football fan, but I'm definitely for the Carolina Panthers.
Oh,
That's
good.
all
There
I
we
gotta say.
Nothing wrong with that.
There we
Nothing
go.
wrong with
I'm
that.
not mad at you with that one either.
yeah.
I'm just going to be the outlaw. I'm a Raiders fan. We don't come to win, we come to play.
we don't come to
Raiders-
where we come
See,
to
that's
play.
We don't come to win.
that's what losers say.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here tonight. Thank you. Yes. Bring her every week.
Joy of the game.
Bring her every week.
Joy of the
Yes.
game.
No,
Bring her
it's
every
about
week.
the joy of winning.
Bring her every week. Yes.
Billy Martin, the famous manager of the New York Yankees, said one time, if winning wasn't important, we wouldn't keep
We
score.
would get it right.
And that's the truth.
Exactly.
I mean, every kid you strike, be your best. Do you, and part of your best is winning.
Right.
Yes.
And accept loss. Don't let it crush you, but
Right.
find a way to get better, or find a way to, never play that team again. Whatever.
Exactly. It
It's
helps
a
you
learning.
to appreciate the ups and downs.
Right.
You can't appreciate an up like a win unless you really appreciate what a loss felt like.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
and
If
there is
all
some
we
joy
did
in
was
winning.
win, it would get boring, and we'd have nothing, as you say, nothing to compare it with.
Yeah.
Anything I've done wrong, almost everything, it's in the closest part of my mind. I never want to make that mistake again. This is how I feel.
Yeah.
That it just it's burned in my brain. That I said something stupid, I wish I hadn't, but I can't take it back. I did something stupid, I wish I hadn't, I can't take it back.
Yeah.
But as I say, all the things that I've done that that I've been successful at, is nice. But I dwell on I don't want to fail.
Yeah.
This is what keeps me going. I don't want to fail.
Yeah.
So
Well, wonderful. But before we break for a short little break, you were telling us, what brought you here to Savannah?
my son was an Army Ranger. He was stationed here in Savannah back in the middle '80s. My youngest son, Jimmy. So I would come down and visit him.
Yeah.
And at the time, I'm divorced from my 3 kids' mother, and my wife is divorced for many years before we even met. We've been married. Mary and I have been married 27 years. But as I say, that's in the past. It was a failure, but I don't dwell on it. I mean, I've had such a happy life with Mary Ann. Nothing else matters that happened because it's it's on the right track. So anyway, my son Jimmy was here, and this was before I met Mary Ann. I'd come down to visit him, and I'd say, man, this would be a great city to retire to.
Yeah.
And then when Mary Ann and I get married, as I said, we bought a big trailer and a truck and traveled the country for 3 months the first year, 4 months the second year, 5. It was just, we loved it. We were on the road. But I always made sure we came through Savannah and stayed a few days because I wanted her to like it too.
Butter up.
And but I knew that this was it. I says, you know, I always dreamed of retiring here. If you don't want to do it, it isn't going to work. Don't do it just for me.
Yeah.
I don't want you to. I said, we both have to want to be here. And no, she said, well, try it. We can always move back if it doesn't work. Well, that was 19 years ago, so it worked.
Awesome. And where were you born and grew up?
I'll give you a clue. See if you can guess. I'll tell you who was born there. The author, Jack Kerouac. Betty Davis, the actress. Olympia Dukakis, the actress. James Whistler, the painter that painted his mother. And the American, close, the American Industrial Revolution was born there.
I was like,
I'm not good with history.
Yes.
We have somebody who's
Massachusetts, like Massachusetts, but
Lowell, Massachusetts.
okay. I was like,
Yeah.
the city,
Lowell,
I don't know.
Massachusetts.
I know it's Massachusetts, but the city I don't know. But
You can't, you know what I say? I didn't choose my parents and I didn't choose where I was born, but I wouldn't change anything. I love them.
exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, and if you can't love your parents and you can't love where you're from, you're off to a bad start.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be hard if you trip over those two things.
Absolutely. Let's take a little bit of a break, and we will be right back with you guys and Mr. Bill Cooper.
Oh, that's me.
No.
What song?
It's still raining.
We need the rain.
Yeah,
I don't mind the rain. I just
It's not so long spurts. Not in long spurts. Like,
Right.
it'll take the whole day.
and then it stops. So like, it's not starting back at nighttime. You have to drive.
It's reloading.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
like,
It's just it's sucking more water out of the ocean, right, physical?
Right.
It's sucking water.
And giving it right back to
And
you.
it's bringing it back. You know that this is the same water that's been on Earth. I mean, since biblical times. The same water. We haven't lost a drop of it.
Nope.
Really, you can dirty it up. It'll go get filtered. It comes back, and it comes back as
It's a living being. I always think that water is a living being.
it is. And it's without it, there's no life. So.
You know, I thought, you know what? Not the only one that thinks that.
There's a
If you
planet.
notice, statistically, the percentage of the water in your body goes down and that's when the aging shows. So the reduction of the percentage of water, a baby has 85% of their body is water.
Right.
But as you get older, it drops.
I know.
down.
I've changed diapers. I think 95% is
Yes,
water
it's
some days.
Right. So you need just less water in your life.
The three, I'll ask people, what's the three most important things to you? Oh, my cell phone, this, my friends. I said, well, here's mine. Oxygen, without it, I'm dead in 3 minutes. Water, without it, I'm dead in 3 days. And
Right.
food, without it, I'm probably 3 weeks. So those are my top three.
Yeah.
Now let's hear your list again.
You guys, we're back. We're back here. You are listening to Let's See Who My Friends Are. We've been talking to Mr. Bill Cooper here with us. Bill is an actor. He's a comedian here in Savannah. You say you started in acting at age of 60?
Right.
Yeah. What prompted, I know you said part of it was just wanting to not leave this earth, not having done all the things that you wanted to do.
Right, and it was never a dream I had to accomplish, but it was something I'd like to. And then when we moved down here, and I was very fortunate to be able to retire at age 48 with a pension.
Oh, awesome.
And the young people are going to have to Google pension.
Right? It doesn't exist anymore.
Because those got wiped out. It wasn't my fault. I thought it was a great idea. But anyway, so I now had time on my hands. And I said to my wife, I will never work full-time again. So I did a few part-time things in that.
Yeah.
And, and again, I wasn't being fulfilled. I really needed something to do. And I'm trying to think, the first opportunity, how did I get into a play? Someone told me about it, and I know. We were at a play. My wife and I were at a play at the Jewish Educational Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty good. The reason I went, a guy I had volunteered with was in it, and he was terrific. So after the play, the director says, we're going to be putting on a musical, Into the Woods.
Yeah.
And it's going to be held out at Armstrong, and anyone that would like to try out for it. Now, again, I'm 60 years old. I just nudged my wife. I said, I'm trying out for it. She says, okay, good. I thought she'd say, don't be ridiculous. So now, Monday night is coming. It's the rehearsal night. And I'm kind of hedging. I said, tonight's the rehearsal. And all she said was, you said you were going. Now I can't let her down. And just to make a long story short, briefly, I'm driving there saying, this might be my only chance. If I don't give this the best shot I got in me, then I might as well turn around now. And I didn't. I went there, and it was you had to sing. I didn't bring any music. I didn't know that. I just well, it's a musical. I should have figured it out, but I had never gone to a casting call before. And I am listening to. There were 60 people in the room. I am listening to some of the most beautiful voices I ever heard. I'm saying, oh no. I'm a bathtub singer. This is going to be embarrassing.
Bathtub singer.
I mean,
The shower
what
serenades.
did I do? So halfway through the auditions, they took a break, and I went over to the director, and I told him, I said, I've never acted before. He said, don't let it bother you. Some of my best actors have been first-timers. I said, okay, I'll do that, but I said, I know the notes. I mean, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You go from low to high or high to low. I said, but, you want us to sing the scale in that. He says, would you rather do that after you do your songs? I said, yeah, okay. So I went up there, I belted out to my ear. When I went to the I just walked out on the stage. As I said, I'm not going to do it unless I feel it. And I walked out like I bought and paid for that stage.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I got a song here from the 50s. This is for the old people in the room, and everyone laughed. I was the only old one in the room. After me, I was 60. Maybe 38 was the next oldest.
No.
And they had the 8-year-olds from 8 years old to 38 and myself trying out for these parts. So I just belted out 2 songs, and I just glanced at the guy on the piano that was the music guy and the director, and I see them do this. So, I just felt good.
Yeah.
I nailed it because I wanted to.
Yeah,
I thanked him.
absolutely.
I was so proud. When I got home, I said, Marianne, he said he's going to call Thursday because they're having another set of tryouts. They had 60 that night. This is for 19 parts. And then they had another casting call the following night. I said, I'll never hear from him, but at least I had the guts to stand up there, and maybe I'll do it again sometime.
Yeah.
And Thursday night, that's when the sand gnats were in town instead of the bananas. I said, you know what? It's almost 7. I'm going to the game. He isn't going to call.
Yeah.
So I get there. I come home. I come home from the game, and Marianne says, Bob called. She says, the only time since I've known you, nothing came out. She said, he wants you to call before 11. It was about 11:15. I said, Bob, yeah, I got a part for you. Do you want it? Do I want it? Yeah. She had to pull me off the ceiling. It was great. As I said, I sang, I had 5 lines, and not big ones,
Yeah.
but I sang with the group on the stage and that, and I loved it, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
So that's the long story short.
What do you think it is about acting, about being on the stage that fulfills you, that gives you that smile as you even talk about it now?
I've always liked people.
Yeah.
I just like it. I like meeting people. I've always had that in me, and I've always had, as I say, a sense of humor. I could, when I was a young skinny kid that weighed about 80 pounds, and the big bully came, if I could make fun of him and his
Right.
friends laughed at him, I walked away.
Yeah.
If not, I couldn't walk. So I just developed that, and I don't know. As I say, it's just my personality. I've always been upbeat. Everyone gets down. Hey, everyone has things that go wrong and get down. But I say, don't live there. Don't carry it with you. Move forward. That's all you have. No one has yesterday. It's
Yeah.
gone.
Absolutely.
But you have today and tomorrow. Do something with it. And I think that's just my attitude.
Yeah.
And I'll just add this to it. My wife has been 1,000% on my side. Anything I tried like this, she supported me. If I'm in a play, she'll read the parts with me to get me into the line. 1,000% behind me and supporting, and it makes a huge difference when you have someone on your side like that.
Oh yeah.
It's a huge difference. So that's pretty much it.
I'm glad you brought it. I have a brother that's an actor. His name is Kareem. So if you look for actors to be on your show, There you go. He's probably not really available most Sundays at 5:30. But I would try to get him to nudge. I'm like,
At 5:30 is a half hour late.
No,
It's 5.
No, none of these words, sir. Plus, we have teens and a teen in the room.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
She goes to a public school. Okay, she heard all of this.
And that's what I'm saying.
She heard all of this. Even the private school, they heard all of this.
Right.
You know, you're going far, kid. I can tell right now. You are going to go places.
Thank you.
Brother Addy, he just wanted, first of all, he said hello to you, Ray. He didn't say hello to you. But he said hello to
right
you.
now.
You can call him that spot.
That's
And
all
get
right,
what?
whatever.
Hello to you. But he's acting.
my friend.
And he has the same smile and expression, especially when he discusses acting. And he hasn't been on the stage in years, though. And I enjoy seeing him on stage. He makes films and does films now.
Yeah.
But I enjoy him on stage. I'm like, yes. Now, even though I don't like learning lines, I've been in a play and just one. That was a skit. But I've been in a play and one only. I didn't have to forcefully learn the lines. I learned them because I did them so much. But I didn't go on stage yet. I was backstage. If you ever seen Little Shop of Horror.
Sure. Oh, that's right, yeah.
And the plant RG2 and the big,
Right.
feed me. I was that guy.
Feed me.
Yeah, feed me, Seymour, feed me. So I was like, dang. I ended up learning the lines, but I still had them backstage. I was like, I don't learn lines very well, even when I perform my poetry. So if you look for a poet on the show, I'll be there as well. And tell some of your poets to come on my show, because that's what my show is about. Poets and spoken word and music that moves. So there we go. We can swap show people.
Absolutely.
Like, toss them around like a donut or a ball or whatever.
But it's just, excuse me one second, any stage. I mean, whether you do comedy, poetry, act, no one forces you on that stage. You want to be there. And that's the other thing. And that's why in an audience, right, there's 10,000 people, only 8 on the stage. Those 10,000, maybe they can do it, but as long as they say, I can't do that, they'll never be on the stage. And all I'm saying is try it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, no one takes you out back and beats you up if you do bad. I mean, don't worry
They
about
don't.
it. And they'll
Exactly.
support you. No.
The crazy thing about it
They'll
is,
support you.
actually, when I first started, had to do performances, I was at school, and we had to perform. It wasn't even a thing that, you have
Well,
to
okay, yeah, right.
Yeah,
When you're in school,
but-
it's a different
yeah,
deal.
I was like,
right.
and if you but I'll never forget Miss Kennedy, and she was probably the meanest teacher I've ever had. I was like, you'd probably be ugh. But showmanship, like the way you have to perform this, and she showed us so much showmanship. I was like, to the end of time, I don't like you, lady, but I love you for what you did. I mean, I don't like, because she was just one of those people like that. She was mean. She was trying to train us up, and so her stage presence went over into the classroom, and some of the classrooms. So I was like, it's not the right time to be a director, and you're a teacher.
Yeah, I
like,
know,
be the
I know.
company. So I was like, ugh. But I think Miss Kennedy all the way through, and even her sister, we just grew up around a whole bunch of talent. So thankfully, I didn't, I'm not 6 years old yet. And so when I get there, I hope I still be performing and still am performing. But like you said, just take that risk to do it. Because I have a lot of people like, how do you get it and do it? I was like, I just do it. It's now, like I said, it's my natural
Because
high.
you
It's
want to now.
Exactly.
You were, once again, when you're a kid, yeah, we've all been in little school plays, and I got the smallest part I could and get off the stage. I wasn't interested in it then. But when you want to be there, you will be there.
Yeah.
If you want to act, you want to do comedy, you were saying tonight that you should do stand-up. Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, set a date by February 1st, I will do it. And then
You got to
put yourself a set together and do it.
and do it.
Yeah.
You have to tell us the joke before you leave here too.
Did you have formal
Okay.
training, or was it just?
No formal training in
formal
acting, no
training.
formal training in anything.
That's awesome.
I was just, I loved it so much, I just kept my eyes and ears open and learned by observing.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, as it pertains to like your comedy, where do you draw inspiration from? Where do you, what experience?
Everyday things.
Yeah.
I'll just give you an example. Everyday things. My wife, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but she's just a good person. She really is.
That's what
She's
you're supposed to do.
just
You're supposed
retired.
to brag on your wife.
Well, okay, but I mean, I just don't want to sound like it. I do want to brag on it, but I don't want to sound like it.
I don't make it sound like that.
Anyhow, I usually start off a joke with this, telling her how nice she is. I said, if I told you she was the best woman on earth, that'd only be half true. She's the best person on earth.
Ooh.
That's what I get, Because let me tell you, not only a good person, she's a hard worker. I'll give you an example. The other day, she goes out shopping, food shopping. I'm in the driveway when she pulls in. She gets out of the car, gives me a big smile, has 8 bags of groceries, 4 in each hand, walking by me, and I'm there. Whoa, Mary Ann, stop. I'm right here.
Right.
How does this look to the neighbors? Come on now, you put those back in the car right now and get them at night when they can't see you.
There you go. There you go.
That's the kind of humor.
I don't want everybody to see you working. Do it at night.
That's too funny. That's too funny. Does your comedy ever get annoying to her?
Oh, daily. I can't change what I am. And I honestly go, I mean, I try to be respectful. I try to tone it down, but pretty much this is me. I'll give you an example one day. We have been only married maybe a couple of months, right? And she's getting up ready to go to work. I didn't have that luxury anymore. I just retired. I was Marianne. I just had the greatest idea. Oh no, please I just get up. Let me go to the bathroom. Let me brush my teeth. Let me have my cup of coffee. Oh no, you gotta hear this. I don't want to forget it. I just dreamed it. It's fabulous. And I'm following her out. She said, and she was so polite. Please. Now, if I did it today, after being together 27 years, she'd just say it once. I said, please. I'll tell you after you brush your teeth. But that's, pretty much it. That's. But she does have a good sense of humor, too. I mean, she really does. She cracks me up.
You gotta have with someone, that's
you get
cracking
through the
you
rough
up.
times if you can smile, if you can laugh. And everyone's gonna have rough times.
Absolutely.
Or bad things happen to people you love, and you gotta be there for them.
It's the best medicine. I always say laughter is the best medicine. People say, how you look so young? I laugh all the time.
Yep.
That's like, you should have a prescription to laugh every day. If you don't find something that brings some joy to your life on a daily basis, find something, because it's definitely helpful.
They had a hotline. It was Dial a Joke, and they'd have different jokes on there, and it was recorded jokes, like you're not feeling good, and there was a phone number, and you would call Dial a Joke. It'd be some corny old joke, but
those are the
picked
best.
you up. It picked you up.
Yeah, I love corny jokes.
I know Friday. Most Fridays at 8 o'clock, I laugh. I take a look over to my left, and there she is sitting there, and I was like, ha
No, that is not funny.
Terrible. I
Just
should
look at the mirror.
Kristen, you want to tell them what I do what I would do when you and your sister weren't getting along?
My mom, she loves making fun of me and my sister. Let me tell you.
Oh, wow.
I don't think this is the story.
Sell it.
Cut the mic.
Maybe I'm not going to talk about a situation between me and my sister, because she isn't here to back me up. I feel like I got all my mom's friends, but no one to support me.
I'm here for you. Understand?
Oh, okay.
I'm here for you.
But let me tell you about this. So I've been teaching my mom a little bit of slang, and I taught her the word slap, and usually people use it like, oh, that's like good, like, oh, this pizza slaps because it's really good.
Excuse me, you're saying slab?
Slap.
Slap. Okay.
Yeah, like SLAP.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Right,
okay.
and
I didn't know that either.
and my mom, every time I say, oh, this thing slaps, she's like, oh, so I'm going to slap you now.
That's a good thing. That's how I translate.
And, like, all I can do to her is just look at her and shake my head.
Like, no,
because
that's
it's
not
so corny, but, like, this is the type of jokes that she tells us. And it is the best, but the worst at the same time.
Exactly.
Whatever, I'm working on my material. Catch me.
You want a writer?
Catch me at the Foxy Loxy.
Oh.
No, I'm too.
Mommy, your material is me and Kayla.
No, I have plenty of material. I
Right?
have plenty of material.
Exactly.
My
If
day.
you had kids, you got tons of material.
Oh, yeah.
I feel you.
Oh,
Kids
yeah.
are funny, and they're fun.
Oh, yes,
Seriously,
yes, they are.
there's so much you can learn from kids, right?
If you have parents, you have jokes for days. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you I'm on your side. I don't have any kids yet, so we're gonna be here together. If you have parents.
And you know what's amazing, seriously, once you become an adult, you realize how brilliant your parents were. And
Right.
You didn't think so.
So they didn't know
And if
anything,
you're an
but
adult
they
with
knew
kids,
everything.
they were geniuses. How do I do this?
Exactly. Plenty of material in life. Plenty of material.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, George Carlin said, someone asked him, how do you become funny? Why are comedians different? He says, I honestly think we have a filter in our mind that we see things differently than normal people.
Okay.
Right.
That we just, and I find myself doing that. I'll be talking to someone serious about something, and inside I want to bust out laughing.
Exactly. They're sitting there like,
And I
oh,
can't, you know, I mean, once again, it's a time you have to be respectful.
I'm so
And I
sorry.
can't wait to, I'll see you later.
Yep.
But it just, I don't know, it's just me. Once again, I think that you're built differently.
Yeah, true. I think too, and if you kind of think about certain groups of people, I think police officers, nurses, and doctors have weird sense of humor.
Because of what they see.
Because of what
They
they
have
see
to.
and
Yeah,
their
they're
filter
immune to
is.
things,
Yeah.
and they have to find something that relieves them from whatever they're going through.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Very good.
Definitely
Well
teachers,
put.
we got to have a sense of
Oh,
humor.
yes.
Oh, and teachers.
Jesus, I was like, my
I have
mind,
mad respect for teachers. If you can deal with that many kids at
Yeah.
once,
That
hey,
are not yours.
yeah,
That are not yours.
that you can't beat.
That you can't
Preferably can't choke.
Wait,
Right?
can we please read that disclaimer? Oh my goodness,
Oh,
we cannot
My
have.
bad.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
oh, that's the donation copy. I don't want to read that. That's not the disclaimer. I was like, oh, if you would like to donate, that's
Is that
not.
Well, the viewpoint.
The viewpoints expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of WRUU, its license holders, or its staff. The viewpoints expressed in the never mind, that's at the end of the show. Oh, the following program contains subject matter and realistic language that some listeners may find objectionable. Listener discretion is advised.
Yes, absolutely.
That's my bad.
No, that's
you're
just your
fine.
opinion.
We're supposed to read that. It's ours.
We're just not going to support everything that said the radio station as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to joke on here because my jokes are not appropriate to tell on there. I mean, it is. I can clean it up. I was like, no, that one probably wouldn't be good either. I said, I'm seeing Betty when it's like, no, that one probably wouldn't be good. No, that one probably wouldn't be good.
I think as a comedian, though, if you, I mean, not just saying that you're funny, but just given the title of comedian, you subject yourself to people running up to you and saying, "Say something funny."
Yes.
You're like, make me
And I
laugh.
said,
You're
wait a
like,
minute, if I was a doctor, would you ask me to remove your arm now?
Right.
To prove I'm a doctor? Because I do have a scalpel.
I do have
I don't have any Novocaine, just a scalpel. Yes, I run into that, and you know, once again, it's I don't want to prove anything, so I just say,
Right.
well, you know,
It is what it is.
I must be mistaken. I thought I was. You are so right. You stumped me.
Oh man, and then the crowd busts out and laugh.
No, you know, I rarely run into it, but people will ask you, you know, what do you have a joke?
Yeah.
You know, and they mean it in a nice way. You know, tell me one of your jokes. And,
Make me laugh.
yeah.
Right, and I've noticed the most successful comedians, it's not just a joke. It's like a whole performance, a story. You know, you put some effort into your thought process, and so people can actually visualize and be there with you to make it funny. Because in a lot of experiences they didn't actually have, and they're living it through your interpretation. So that's the hard.
Almost I have short stories like that one I just told you about my wife shopping. I start off with something true.
Yeah.
She went shopping and she came home, and I helped her in with the groceries. But my mind's saying, hey, what if you didn't? That would be cool.
Right.
And how could you get away with it? You know, I mean, I wouldn't do that. But it actually started with something that was true. And most of my stories were in, okay, just a quick one. You want to hear another one?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So we have to go up to New England once a year to get our accents renewed. So it was time to go, right? Now, my wife packs everything so she's ready 2.5, 3 days in advance. And it's always, Bill, you going to start packing? Plenty of time, eh? You know, we're not leaving till Tuesday. Today's Saturday. Don't be ridiculous. I'll be ready. Sunday, have you packed anything yet? No, I know what I'm bringing. It's the same stuff every year.
Oh, wow. Sorry about that.
Okay, now, here it is. We get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, one of the early starts, a long drive. You know, we get up to just about West Virginia on the first night, and then we're there on the second night. So here it is. I'm up at 3 o'clock. We're going to leave at 4. Now I decide I'm going to pack. Oh, let's see. What am I? Oh, Marianne, have you seen my? Don't even ask. You had 3 days to ask me if I saw something.
Right.
So I'll find it. Anyway, so I get all packed. You got everything? Yep. You got everything? You sure? Yep. Okay. So now it's 4 o'clock on the button, We drive, we do not get half a mile. And I go, oh no. She says, what's the matter? I said, I forgot my heart pills. She said, you kidding? I said, no. I said, look what I grabbed instead. They were on the counter beside the Tic Tacs. I took these instead of my heart pill. I said, so we have to turn around because we're going to be gone 2.5 weeks. I can't go that long without my heart pill. She says, let's see what happens. Give me a Tic Tac.
I like her.
Again, the beginning of that story is true, but of course she turned around.
Yeah.
But I just said, what would happen if she said, no, give me a Tic Tac? And that became a joke.
That is
Yeah, so that sounds like a good tip. Start with experiences.
Something you
that are
know.
true.
And what would and it turned out good. But what would happen if you took a left instead of a right? If you let go of the frying pan instead of got the eggs to the table. It's basically that's how I see humor.
Absolutely, absolutely. What are some other tips? We were talking off air earlier. What's some other tips for somebody that's gonna step up on the stage and try the open mic? Try their hand.
I give them the same thing I told you. Be prepared. I've stepped up there thinking, oh man, I got so many sets, I'll get up there, and I floundered because I didn't have it lined up in my mind. I didn't look at it a long time before I went up there.
Yeah.
And I'm there, it wasn't a good set.
Yeah.
So always be prepared, know your material. And number two, and I mean this, don't go up there drunk. You'll be the only one in the room thinking you're funny.
right.
Really, people will be laughing at you instead of with you, and that's not comedy.
Different.
I mean, seriously, anyone can do that, and that's just not comedy. But if you
Yeah.
really want to do comedy, be prepared, go up there sober. And you were saying about bringing your friends for support. And I'm saying that may or may not be a good idea. I don't know your friends.
Well, my friends, if that were me and I brought my friends, it would be the people booing. To make them laugh.
No.
We
The
do it.
hecklers.
We do it because we love each other, but we
Oh,
also
I get
hate
that.
each
That's
other.
why I'm saying I don't know your friends. That may not be the best idea.
They
Yeah.
might, I wouldn't boo. I might not laugh. I was like, no. Like, we'll talk after. Come on, get off. Come on.
It's
It's
okay.
time to go. Yeah, come on.
Whatever. Give me a hug.
Oh, and the third thing, this comes later, you got to know how to handle a heckler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have to know how to handle a heckler because they can kill a set. They can kill. I've seen comedians get mad and the hecklers get mad at each other. You think they're going to come to blows. You can't let it get to that point.
Yeah.
But you gotta let them know you get the mic. You're in charge.
Yeah.
But then some people have their whole agenda, whole material is based upon hecklers. But if nobody's heckling, they don't have anything. You know what I mean? And it's like that's not funny.
No, you're gonna bring your own heckler in a case
Right, you
like
got
that.
it.
Oh,
That's
thanks,
why you
Ma.
Awesome.
Perfect.
No, but the bottom line, try it. Do it. Don't
Yeah.
say, I want to do it. Set a date a couple months from now, and that'll give you plenty of time.
Yeah.
Try it out on your friends. Don't tell them that you're thinking of doing comedy. Just go up and start saying funny things.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they laugh, because they're going to set themselves. If you tell someone, I got a great joke, they don't do it on purpose, but all of a sudden they're saying, prove it.
Right.
So never say, I got a good joke or I got something funny. Just go up and start telling a story. And if they laugh, then the crowd should laugh too, if it's good.
Yeah.
So-
I keep my
Ray,
friends
we should
rolling.
record our conversations. I'm just saying. This is retardedness.
You should show your picture, but then
You could call it the bleep.
speaking of being prepared and setting out ahead of time, when are the next shows that you have coming up?
In comedy?
Yeah, next
Anything.
you have coming.
Well,
Anything you do it, or when is this next open mic, so comics can get out there and get ready to be prepared for it. Let us know when and where they are.
Okay, and I never know until that week because some things come up and I just can't do it. But the White Whale, it's across, you know where it is? Across
Yeah.
the street. It's in Savannah, across the street from the old Sears building parking lot, right near the opposite side of the street of the American Legion.
Yeah.
And they have it there Monday nights.
Okay.
And Tuesday nights, and I'm gonna try to do a set there Monday night, this coming Monday night, because I was incapacitated for a long time. I had several operations and I couldn't get out, so I haven't really been doing the comedy as much as I want to. But I did have a couple weeks ago. We have what they call Drop Dead Comics, and you do a set of a deceased comic, and I did Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
And man, I'm telling you, go
I
to my
caught
page.
that. I
You
caught
saw
that
it?
on your page,
It just
yes.
worked out
It-
good.
yes,
it
it
worked
worked out
out
really
good.
I
well.
don't get no
Really
respect.
Oh my God.
No, I get
No
no respect.
Rodney Dangerfield, yes, I know him very well.
He has that one joke. I think it's if I hear it now, it's still hilarious. He says, a girl called me over and said, "Come on over because there's nobody home." And I went over there and there was nobody home.
Yes.
I was like, "That is hilarious." I was like,
My kid comes running in the house the other day. Mommy, the house is on fire. She said, "Shut up, you wake your father."
I love it. I love it.
We're winding down here for Let's See Who My Friends Are. The last question I always ask my guests is,
Can I borrow $10?
No.
I try. They always tell me no.
That's actually my question. If you would like to donate to me, I take donations. Any amount helps.
Get her off the microphone.
You got the buttons right here. All you gotta do is press the button, mama. Press that button, mama.
Mama, you wanted me on this.
No, this is
Shut her
great. This is a
down.
good time. I'm so happy I came. This is a good time tonight.
But we do ask our guests, to put a message out there to the world. If people are out here listening to you, given a platform, what are some words that you want the world to hear, that the world to kind of take to heart and perhaps kind of live by? What is something that you want to tell them?
I don't care how religious you are or how good a person you are, or both. There's only one rule. Do unto others. I don't want to be treated bad. I'm not going to treat you bad.
Yeah.
That's it. If everyone lived like this, there'd be no more war, no more strife, no more hate, no more violence. Try to live like that. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's, it's old advice, and it will always be true. And let's hope someday we can get to that point.
Absolutely. It's called the golden rule for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bill.
My pleasure, really.
I appreciate you coming out and do this. You kicked off, let's see who my hosts are. And what a way to start. Because, we don't get an opportunity all the time to kind of linger around and meet the other hosts and get a chance to understand their passion for their shows. And kind of collaborate in this way. So thank you so very much for jumping on this and taking the opportunity to come out and hang out with us tonight. This is what we do here. We just want to find out who you are, So thank you so very much.
You're entirely welcome. It's been my pleasure meeting all of you and just having just chilling and thrilling with Billin.
And I love how you say all the yous. I love all the yous.
He said he has to go back to New England to renew his accent.
Once a year, oh yeah, it fades.
But you guys,
I almost said y'all once. They got me back just in time.
Y'all, they got me with the y'all. I'm there with y'all all the time now. I can't get it out of my...
Y'all is the best word in the English language almost.
Y'all. Nah.
I went to Home Depot. I thought it was a tool.
Oh, can I get a y'all?
Where's y'all?
Which aisle are the y'alls on?
As a native Savannah.
Southern person. Let's go south.
Yeah.
Come on, south.
Yes,
Let them know south.
We love the word y'all because it describes everything.
Exactly.
Everything and everyone is a y'all.
Y'all tripping.
Okay?
Y'all tripping.
Shut
y'all
her down.
Thank you. Thank you. Give her a round of applause.
Yeah, y'all give her a round of applause. You guys have been listening to Let's See Who My Friends Are. I'm your host here, Ray Carr, the Fit Hypnotist. My co-host is here with us tonight, Mr.
GQ Smooth, your ear candy, your social voice radio, the one and only. GQ Smooth.
Oh my goodness.
Wow,
Thanks.
please take his mic.
Of course, our regular voice here.
Yay, it's me, Ayana. I don't have a whole speech like he does, but I'm here, y'all.
Also here was my daughter, Miss. Go ahead.
I am Kristen, and it was great having y'all listen to me.
Y'all, there we go.
Y'all.
Y'all over there.
There we go.
And And of course, Bill Cooper. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. This is WRUU LP Savannah, Georgia. 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. Perfect. Are we off? Yay!
They're very nice. Very
Thank
nice.
y'all
Pleasure
so
being here.
much.
That
Thank
was
you.
amazing.
That was good.
Wow,
That was so
that-
good. That was so
I have to
good.
rush your show one day.
And I will
You
definitely.
know, seriously, as I say, I have guests every week.
Oh.
But if you contact me, and then I'll let you know what weeks are open,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd love to have you. This was
Yeah.
fun. We'll do this again, and
Yay.
you know, they'll say, "Oh man, we thought we'd get rid of him." You know, he was on Friday. Look, he's back.
And this is what I say.
That's
You
how
have
we- that's how
come.
we got
You've
started.
done this.
But that's
These
what's great
two have
about-
been guests, and they never laugh.
The guests never laugh.
Kareem, his
Good
brother,
snacks.
pops in on
That's
Fridays, and you know we just welcome. You know, if you're here some Fridays, it's
It's
just
loose. I
myself
like it.
and
It's
her.
loose.
So yeah,
It's-
just
it's
come
not
on
tight.
in. Yeah.
When people are
It's
repairing
like-
on my
it's
show,
like-
they say, "What should I do? How do we prepare? Should I?" I said, "No, don't prepare.
We can't
We're going to
Exactly.
talk like we're sitting on my couch talking about what we love.
Yeah.
That's it. Just
Right.
relax. And
That was
before you
like-
know it, they all say the same thing. Man, that hour flew by.
Flew by.
Huh.
Yes, yes,
Huh.
yes. I'm definitely gonna
Hey, I
gonna
forgot to let somebody borrow my
contact
headphones.
you and see
That'd
about the
be
days
great.
that the Sundays you have available.
What you- I had
I'm
two.
definitely coming
You
to
don't want
visit.
Well, that's wonderful. Again, thank you. It's been
Thank you
a
so
Pleasure.
much.
pleasure.
I give hugs. I give hugs if
You
you
are a
don't
great
mind.
young lady. You're
Thank
going to
you.
do it. Very nice to meet you. Oh, yeah, get the hugs.
I got
Bring the hug in. Hugmobile, get over here.
Awesome. I think I've seen you on stage before.
Really?
I think I have. I saw you look so familiar.
Yeah, well, I've done a lot of acting in the city, so.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
It's my pleasure too, young man. Excellent.
Now can I tell my joke since y'all is that stop?
No, that's
I mean, you can leave it on there. Listen,
Go ahead, fire away.
I went to the restroom one day. At a trucks at a little gas station or whatever. Get in there. You know the myth about black men and white men.
Okay. No.
It ain't a myth.
What's
The
that?
myth about black men and white men. So you make sure you close the door, young lady. That's when you hear it. Go to school and tell them. But anyway, so I go. I'm standing there using the restroom. You know, men restrooms have urinals. One sits up high and one sits down low.
Right.
So I'm at the one that is
Oh,
down
yeah,
at the bottom. The one sits down low. So a white man walks next to me. He was like, "Hey, why are you using that one? That was for a little kid. You know, you need to use this. And this is for the big boys. This is sitting up high. You know, come on, you a man. You supposed to come over here to this one. This is sit up high." So I'm on the other side. Like, he's like, "This sits up high." I was like, "Well, this one's hung low."
I knew there was a man joke. I can't.
I have another one too.
All right, I'll give you a similar one.
Okay.
But you know, everyone can hear this. This ain't bad.
Okay.
So I says, you know, I've never been to a nudist camp. I think I'll try it. So I go there. I get my nerve up. I go to a nudist camp, right?
Mhm.
And I get out. I'm walking around, and after a couple hours, I said, this is ridiculous. I'm 6'3". Everyone's calling me shorty. They knew I was white before I got here.
No.
Yes.
Bye, you guys. Thank y'all so much. Check out
Okay.
the page on tomorrow or check out our YouTube channel. We'll have this video loaded. We appreciate y'all. Why is your hand just a wagging over my head?
I'm waving. Yeah, I'll see y'all later. So it's a wave.
Yes, yes, yes. Bye bye. Yeah, say bye to the folks.
See ya.
Yay.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Thank